Hello, everybody. Just going to get these settings situated. We will get started here shortly. I'm playing my beach music. I don't know if you can hear that, but in a second, I'm going to get situated here and we will get started. Doesn't really matter as long as the music goes on. But Mr. Calling, why don't you come round no more? A lot of you have your video off. Feel free to turn that on so I can see your face. I'll turn my music off. Hey, Scott.
Good, I guess, afternoon.
Yeah, for some people.
I don't have any idea what day or time of day it is right now. I'm on quarantine for 2 weeks.
Exactly. I totally get that.
So I'm in my pajamas and sitting in my easy chair trying to work from home.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, we sent all of our team to work from home, and they're handling that really well. But we converted the front of our building into a 2-bedroom apartment, so I literally have to open a door to go from my office environment to our house. So I guess we're technically always working from home, but you know, anyways. Well, all right. Good afternoon for most of us. I know some of you, well, most everybody in here is kind of Central and Eastern time zone, but I am going to first give you a couple of little Zoom tips. One is if you haven't done Zoom, I have everyone muted, but you can unmute yourself, like to ask a question. There's also the chat feature down at the bottom. I'll take a peek at that periodically and answer questions. But I have everybody muted for sound reasons, because if you have stuff going on in the background, that can obviously interfere. But if your video is off and you want your video on, then down in the bottom left of your screen, there's an option there where you can do that. I also want to mention that I am going to be sending you a follow-up email that will have this recording, and it will also have the presentation slides for you as well. Bob is saying he can't hear me. That I am unmuted, and I was just having a conversation with someone else, so it's got to be on your side, Bob. So I hope that you are able to figure that out and get that situated for yourself. Yeah. So I'm going to be sending you the email, like I said, with the slides and with this recording. So if you hate to take notes, don't feel like you have to, I'm going to send you this. And I know that we're doing this kind of at lunchtime for a lot of people. I've got it slated for 1 hour. I'm going to share my screen here in a second and get started. But I do want to thank Judelle. I'm trying to see, there's so many people on here, and see if she is on yet. But Judelle from AASP, yep, she's on there. AASP Minnesota, thank you for jumping on board and hosting or sponsoring, if you want to say that. And then also AASP Pennsylvania and IGO North Carolina. See, Bob is here, and Trisha. They helped share this and get the word out there. We had well over 100 people register for this session today, so I think it's the obvious timeliness of the topic. So thank you all for jumping in. I know that this is a critical time for you. My husband, Brian, and I are past shop owners. For those of you that don't know that, we've owned a couple of shops and now own a marketing company. I'm not going to get into our history because it would take too long. We don't have time for that. So having said that, I am going to go ahead and share my screen so that I can get right to the presentation. So thanks again for joining me, and I will check over at the questions periodically, y'all, and get back to any questions you might have. But go ahead and get this rolling. So we are here to talk today about how to market your shop during a crisis. And actually, before I do that, I want to ask you, if you see this little green check mark up here in the top, that is reminding me to ask a question. I have a poll that I want to go ahead and share. And if you will take a peek, that should have popped up on your screen. How has your shop been impacted by the coronavirus, or has your shop? So answer yes or no, and then you can go ahead and also answer about what you've been doing for your marketing, increasing it or decreasing it, and I will be able to show you the results here. I'm going to give everybody a second to get those questions answered. Thank you. Give it maybe another couple of seconds. Looks like 42, 44, 46% of y'all have answered the question. Let's see if we can get it to 50%. And there we go. Oh, y'all are still voting. 57% of you have voted. Has your shop been impacted? All right, so I'm going to end the poll and share the results. So as you see there, 89% of you all have said that your shop has been impacted by the coronavirus. And
what did you
then,
say?
what's that? Somebody is not muted. And then increasing or decreasing your marketing and not making any changes. So kind of split, 39% have increased marketing, 39% have made no changes, and then 21% of you have decreased your marketing. So I'm going to stop sharing that. And again, I'll also share another poll here that we'll do in just a little bit. All right, so let's jump right to it. Coronavirus, right? Just a month ago, I'm going to tell you, my mom is a worrier. She freaks out about everything. Oh my gosh, if she doesn't have something to be worried about, I swear I think she makes something up. And I was talking to her actually when we were at Vision. She called me completely panicking, but my mom is 74 and she has all of the immune stuff and weak health issues that put her in the very high risk category. So she was really freaked out. And I was telling all the things I told her would never happen are happening. So now she's calling me saying, see, you're crazy. But something we weren't even thinking would ever happen to us, or, you know, not even thinking that this was a thing. So when I put this class out, a shop owner friend of mine, Jen, sent me a message and she said, are we being socially responsible by staying open, by continuing to bring our team in and this sort of thing? And this is what I told her. I told her that the government has said that you are an essential business. People need you to stay on the roads. If y'all don't mind, take a, Lorraine, I think it looks like it's you. Can you mute yourself? It's making some noise there. Thank you. So your service is essential. Do I think you're being socially responsible by remaining open? Yes. You're providing a need and a service to the community. You're keeping people getting to work, getting able to get their groceries, do the things that they need to do. As far as your team and keeping people safe on your team, talk to your team, have a conversation with them. You know, one shop owner said, well, one of my employees lives with their elderly, I don't remember if it was a parent or grandparent, and they were worried about getting it or sharing it with them. And then also, so she shared as well that a service advisor from a local shop was potentially exposed to the virus from a tool truck or a parts delivery, I think it was. So put measures in place to protect your team and yourselves, but I do think it's socially responsible for you to be staying open. That is a situation that is case by case. Different shops are going to maybe feel differently, but I wanted to be sure to answer that question because it was a question that she had as well. So I hope that that helps someone. Let's talk about what you're going to do, right? And I want to start off with the good news here. I don't know if y'all have seen this by TechMetric. They are a shop management software, and they PJ sent this to me through a LinkedIn message. He was like, "Hey, I just wanted to share this with you," and I thought that it would be encouraging to some people. And you know, so many of you already said that you've been impacted. This is updated every 15 minutes. TechMetric is pulling data, and you can, this is right there in the description, from 500 of their shops that are both rural and urban and across all of the states as well as Canada. So you can see there the green bars are indicating the average car count, and then the line at the top is the average repair order. So while some shops may be seeing a reduction in their car count, their average repair order is going up. And when I send you this presentation, the link is right here at the bottom, as you may see. I will include this link so you can take a look at it. I just thought that it was really interesting to see that. And I know some of our own clients, their shops that we've talked to, they're kind of feeling that same thing. They might have fewer cars, but people are, because they're putting their car there in the shop, they're not going anywhere, they're not doing anything, they're allowing the shop to do more work. So hopefully that might give some of you some positive, a positive view on that. So continuing forward, one of the biggest things that we hear from people is their stress and anxiety about having to make changes, right? You're moving along with your life, everything's going great, normal, hunky-dory. You just got back from vision maybe, and have some great ideas implement, and then all of a sudden shut down, right? There's a pause and everything. And I don't know if it made me think about this book, Who Moved My Cheese, that I read years ago. Actually, when we were shop owners, I read this book. And so I wanted to share it with you because it's a quick, easy read. I hate reading. My husband loves to read. I fall asleep. This one does not put you to sleep. But it's a short, easy read, and it's all about you adapting to change, you recognizing what's going on in your world and being ahead of the curve. So there's 4 characters, they're little rats, 4 characters in this book called Hem, Haw, Sniff, and Scurry. And 2 of them are going through their world, and they're noticing that their piles of cheese that they're eating is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So they're smart enough to know, when this pile goes down, I'm not going to have any food. I'm going to have to look around. And so in that time, they were exploring the world to try to find new cheese. And so the other 2 characters, meanwhile, are so busy eating their cheese, living in their own little world, only paying attention to that, that they never realize that the cheese supply is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So therefore, when it's gone, it's gone. They don't know what else to do. So it's kind of survival of the fittest, I guess. So in the book, they have these quotes throughout the book, kind of takeaway messages, called the handwriting on the wall, that they reference all the time. And so, you know, you've been hearing about this, and then we started seeing things. This whole coronavirus situation moved very quickly. So you have to be willing to adapt, know what's going on, and accept it. You have to accept it and move on. So that's a good book to read if you are interested in reading books, and just to help you as you adapt and move forward with a positive attitude. So when we're talking about marketing in a crisis, and we are doing this every single day. I mean, we have clients that we're working with constantly getting, hey, these were my hours yesterday, these are my hours today, we're going to close this location, but we're going to keep this location open, and it's constant changes, right? So some of the things that I want to really do is bring us back to the basics, because now is not a time to really try some new cool thing. Now is not the time to jump into the deep end of the pool with a brand new marketing tactic that you've never done before that's going to cost a lot of money. This is not the time to do that. Brian and I just taught a session at Vision, 2 sessions. One was called Idea Factory, and it was about integrating your marketing, which I'm going to talk about here as well. And the other one was back to the basics. So you cannot jump on board with, if you've never done Facebook advertising, now is not the time to do that. And you also can't do new cool things if you don't have your basics, your foundational parts of marketing in place. So I'm going to take it way, way back to marketing soft skills. And that is being human, showing compassion. People are freaking out, rightfully so. Their lives have been turned upside down. They're homeschooling their kids. We kind of joke, but not, it's not really a joke right now, but Brian and I have been married for 20 years, and we have owned a business and worked together 17 of those 20 years. So we're used to being together all the time, but there's lots of couples that are not used to that. And so all of a sudden they're working from home together, and it's not going well. We need to be understanding. And so we need to have patience. And if you're not a person of patience, you got to figure out how to have patience, how to be compassionate. Think about how you, as an open business in your community, can be the resource and be helpful to people in your community. What can you do to share information? My nickname is the Queen of Connections. When somebody introduced me that way to somebody years ago, and that just grew on its own. And a couple of years back, I really got sick of it, and I tried to get rid of that nickname. And then finally, I realized I needed to just accept it and move on, because I wasn't going to be able to get rid of it. But the reason why people call me that is because that's my God-given purpose and gift in life, is to connect people, whether it's connecting people to each other or connecting people to resources and things that they might need. So I'm constantly thinking about people and what they might need. And even if it's just sending a text to them saying, hey, this might be helpful to you. You can do the same thing. When you're talking to your customers, your service advisors are talking to your customers, and you realize that they're another business, and they're struggling during this coronavirus time, connecting them to the local resources with regard to small business development centers or chambers of commerce and that sort of thing. So if you can be the resource, that's marketing. People are going to remember the moment that you helped them, and they're going to share that. Be clear in your communication and do it often. Now is not the time to go dark. Now is not the time to be quiet. Now is not the time to stop posting on Facebook, to stop emailing or texting your clients. Be clear in your communication, be compassionate. Are you helping or are you hurting? A friend of mine recently posted, and it was, I think it was a Bible scripture, but she was talking about being the salt in the world, being the light, being positive, and helping people. Your customers are craving confidence right now. They're craving people that have information and the right appropriate information. So take it back to the marketing soft skills, slow down, take a deep breath, literally like stop and take a deep breath, and put some compassion into your marketing. So the next thing is for you to think about who you're talking to. Is now the time for retention marketing or acquisition? That's a very important question, and it's critical that you think about that right now, because right now I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to talk about acquisition, but that's not the time. Now is not the time for acquisition. You want your focus to be on retention marketing. So let's go there. Retention. Let's think about your assets. What do you have? You have loyal customers. You have a database. You have their email address. You have their cell phone number. You have all of the things that you already need. Let's not spend a lot of money trying to acquire new customers when you already have a database of customers that love you, they trust you, and they want to do business with you. You're the one that, I don't know if y'all can see the text messages that are popping up on my screen, but I have a friend who knows nothing about Zoom, and she owns a meat market in town, and I'm the resource. And she messages me, so I don't know if you even saw that text message that just popped up. She said she hates this Zoom crap. Anyway, now is the time for you to focus on your retention marketing. So here's some quick ideas. If you have other ideas, drop them in the chat feature, share it with everybody in here, let them see, help each other in here as well. And this is just a quick little list. So loyalty and VIP programs. I will tell you that for a long time, we did coupons all the time. And then we realized we were training our customers. So they would only call to schedule an appointment if we put a coupon in the email. So we backed up, as a lot of shop owners do, we backed up on putting a coupon or discounting services in every one. The thing is, today, right now, you may need to you got to do everything you can to get them into the shop. So you've got to dig deep and pull out every promotion that you can put together to get those loyal customers back in your shop. Loyalty programs, VIP programs. I know that we had kind of a tiered approach to our loyalty program. So if you came into the shop however many times a year, you got this offer, and then maybe you got a free oil change every however many visits or whatever it was. But what happened was we had one client that he referred so many customers to us, and he came to us so often that he ended up with like a lifetime of oil changes for free. So we realized that that was not working for him. And so we created sort of a tiered referral program, loyalty program that catered to the wants of the customer. So this tier, maybe you got this, but if you were in this tier, you got a different reward, if you will. Then we created, and some of these are not new ideas, y'all. I mean, but it might be new to a couple of people. We just created a simple, like $25 gift certificate, and we would give that to every single customer. I literally created it in Microsoft Word and printed it out. I gave it to every customer when they were checking out. And with the coronavirus, you're probably putting that, just laying it on the front seat because you're not having that human connection with people right now. But what that was it was something that, and now you can email it. We didn't have that back when we had our shop. I mean, not like you do today. And you could give them that gift certificate that they give to a friend. And when they wrote their name on it, when their friend brought it in, they got $25 off of their service, and then the one who referred them got that. So pull that out. Consider what other kind of coupons or discounts that you can offer. Like I said, I know lots of people don't like to do that, but today is different. You got to do things differently. Stay in touch via social, share relevant, important information. Be transparent, be yourself. Like I said, be compassionate. Think about who you're talking to. You're talking to your followers on social. They know you, they love you, they trust you. Let them know that you are still open for business. Let them know what you're doing. Are you putting steering wheel covers on? Do you have your night drop box that they can use without having to come into the shop? Are you cleaning the keys before you give them back? Are you sanitizing the high touch areas on the car? Are you using plastic seat covers? What are the things that you are doing? Let your customers know this is what we're doing, but let them know you're doing it for them, but you're also protecting your team, your own staff there. People want to know that you're protecting them and you're protecting your team. Video is a great time right now for you to get on video. I know a lot of you do a great job with video, but there are some who are still hesitant to do video. You need to jump on that train. Let people see your face. Show them. Go around your shop with your video, whether it's a Facebook Live or whether you record a video on your phone and you upload it, whatever it is that you do, show them what you're doing. Show them where the drop box is for the keys. Show them that your technicians are wearing gloves and that they're putting the steering wheel covers on and that sort of thing. So use video. It's a great time to be able to do that. Here's an example, a couple of examples actually. And Judell sent me Lancer service, and I saw Tara's post on, they don't even know that they're in this presentation right now. So the post on the left from Topol's Towing and Repair was actually on LinkedIn. So this is two examples to show you what people are doing. Notice that with Lancer service, the comments, somebody shared it, people liked it. And the thing about that is I captured this on March 19th. So there could be obviously more comments on there, but it's creating engagement. She's being fun and positive in her picture. She's showing people this is where you go to drop your keys. And then Topals, this is actually a video. I thought I might have time to jump over and play the video. It's short, it's a great video. If you're friends with friends, connect it to Tara Topol on LinkedIn, or you can probably go to their Facebook page. I just saw that on LinkedIn. So I wanted to share just so y'all have some real life, current relevant examples of what you can do. And then here's another one, also Lancer service. This is they're hiring, like they need staff. So this is how they shared that on there. And this is all, again, right here during this time. This is March 18th. This is just last week. And you can see in the post there how they're referencing today's time and hoping that it's short-lived. But what am I seeing here? If I'm the customer, one, I'm seeing a clean shop. Two, I'm seeing happy people. And so while they might not be spaced out social distancing style, this was before that order was like an actual order. But again, just showing you that you can do it, you can be positive, and this is what people are looking for. They are looking for confidence, and we're here for you, and we're going to take care of you. And by all means, that they're hiring right now. So that's definitely positive. Okay. Acquisition. I don't want to spend an enormous amount of time on this because I really don't think that's what you need to be focusing on right now. But there are maybe there are shops who are brand new. We have a shop that's opening in the first, second week of April. So they're brand new. They don't have a choice but to do acquisition. And if that's where you are, then I wanted to be sure to share some things. But I'd rather see you taking your dollars and focusing them on what you already have in place, tapping into existing customers, emailing them, texting them, calling them. Literally, if you're slow, get the employees that are working and don't have the work to do, sit them down on the phone and have them call. But acquisition marketing is about getting new people. So it's certainly difficult in a time of crisis because you're reaching out to people that maybe they haven't heard of you, maybe they don't know you. So it's a different world from doing acquisition marketing 2 months ago when there was nothing crazy happening in the world. Lead generation is something that I think would be great to try when we're talking about acquisition, and that is where you have something that they want, whether it is a coupon, whether it's a PDF or a video giving them tips on how to do this or how to do that, that when they come to your website and relax, I'm going to say the pop-up word, and I know people love to say, I hate pop-ups, they don't work. They do work. They absolutely work. There's an enormous amount of research and statistics to prove that. We have some of our own clients that have seen great results from this. If you've been to our shopmarketingpros.com website, you have seen and experienced a pop-up. So you offer something to them, and the only way they can get it is to give you their email address. Then immediately you're hitting them with an email with, here's the thing that you asked for. Now you have their email address. Now you can build that trust. Now you can showcase yourself to them as an expert, as someone who cares, and that sort of thing. And then I already talked about the $25 gift certificate example that really is loyalty stuff for your customer, but it's for them to give to a friend. So there's a couple of ideas there. There's also the idea that you've seen when you go to a website and then you come over to Facebook and now you have an ad and you're like, I was just on that website, or I just saw that product, or whatever. It's retargeting. So when you do that lead generation piece and people are coming to your website, then that Facebook pixel is now tracking. That sounds so messed up, but it's now tracking them. And so now you have an opportunity to hit them with an email. So that's 2 touches. They actually 3, because they experienced you somehow they came to your website, then they joined your email list, you emailed them, and now you can retarget them with a secondary ad. Again, being compassionate, being understanding of the situation, not taking negative advantage of the situation. All right, so should you stop marketing? And we have a poll here, but you already did it. It was the second one that you did, where we asked if you increased your marketing, decreased it, or stayed about the same. Should you stop marketing? We're getting that question. And the short answer is no. You may need to alter your marketing. You may need to make some adjustments. You might need to stop doing this and start doing this. Again, remember that people are scared right now. They are not as trustworthy as they were before this crisis was going on. And people are probably, out of fear of the economy falling apart or maybe losing a job, they might be more careful about how they're spending their money. So you have to also match that tone and be caring and compassionate in what you're recommending and what you're selling, and even just being thoughtful about the offers that you are putting out there, making sure that they're relevant and then they make sense. If I asked a poll right now of how many of you were overwhelmed, if you're on Facebook, with the enormous amount of trash that's coming out there, fake news with regard to the coronavirus, being worried about what you're reading, whether it's true or not. If you're feeling that, most likely everybody else is too. The amount of friends that I have that are like, I'm just going to get off of Facebook. They're not getting off of Facebook, but they say they're going to, and they're just not doing it. What are you putting out there? Now is not the time to stop educating people. Now is not the time to slow down on what you're posting. So be helpful. Like I keep saying, be a trusted resource. People are depending on you because they know you and they trust you. Definitely stay in touch. And that, again, whether that's social media or email marketing or texting through the program that you have, now is a great time to do that. So some marketing, your ongoing long-term marketing, such as SEO, is critically important. And truthfully, it's rough if you stop doing that, because is it the law of immersion, if I'm remembering correctly? It's so difficult to get something started, but once you get it started, then you can keep going and kind of build that momentum. Having said that, if you are experiencing a huge impact on your business and you don't have a choice but to cut out some marketing, SEO may be the thing. If you're working on that needs to go. I can't believe I'm saying that, because that's typically never something that we would recommend, because it's a process and it takes time. But if you need to pause something, that might be something to pause. But if you are able to continue building that content machine, then by all means keep doing it. I know we have people who are asking us to prioritize our service, the services or the marketing that they're doing. Like, what's most important? What's on that range? Where should I keep doing this and not do that? So again, think about being the resource. How can you do that? Use what you already have. You already have customers and their email addresses and their phone numbers. So think that way when you're trying to decide about continuing your marketing. Should you stop? No. You might need to adjust, but you shouldn't stop your marketing. Okay. As a result of this, we immediately thought to ourselves, what do our customers need from us? What are they wondering? And so we started thinking about the questions our shop customers were asking us. And one of the things was, literally in the very, very beginning, this is before it was really a big deal, They were asking, do you have ideas that I'm not thinking about on how we can stay open and prevent the spread? So we wrote a blog. And that's on our website. Again, there's a link right here, but I'll send it to you, is a blog on how your shop can prevent the spread. And so we listed some ideas in there. But the thing is that I'm trying to drive home to you is listening to your customers. What are they asking you? What are they wondering? What are they worried about? Okay. And then for ads, let's have some common sense, right? I know that's a joke. We all joke about the lack of common sense in the world today, but before you act, stop and think, what makes sense? Are your customers freaking out because they're scared? Then be sensitive. And if your ads are really pushing something that they shouldn't be pushing at this time, turn those ads off. Just pause them. You know, one of our clients, we turned off the ads we were doing, but started new ads targeting their own customers and letting them know we are open and here's what we're doing. If you can be helpful, if you can solve a problem, do it. Get on a video, answer that question from that video. And this is where we're going to talk about integrating your marketing, what you're saying on social, what you're saying in email, what you're saying in text. It needs to all make sense and it should all work together. Don't put a message in one place and then put a different message here and a different message there. Create an integrated message that you are sending across the board. So if you create a video, listen to that video, and from that one video, you might be able to create 2 or 3, 4 different social media posts where you're talking about one thing at a time. You might be able to use that video to put that content into an email to send out to your email database, or even texting that video to your customer list. Okay, do what makes sense for you. Do what makes sense for your audience. Talked about adjusting your messaging, what you're promoting. You know, I think back to when we had our shop and we were in North Carolina, and right now, right, probably across the country, it's allergy season. And so every allergy season, we would educate people about their cabin air filter, or, you know, different ways. I think it was Greg Buckley that did a video about product or service that he's able to do for people that sanitizes the inside of their car, if I'm remembering correctly. What can you do? How can you help? Can you pair promotions together? If you do this, we're going to switch your cabin air filter out for you for free, or whatever it might be. Think about BOGO specials, buy one, get one, whether it's half off or get one free or whatever it might be. Think about what makes sense, okay? And then boosting posts. Maybe you don't focus on, again, if you're advertising to a brand new audience that is not your customer, that's acquisition marketing. You can boost your Facebook posts to your following. And the thing about boosting posts is if you have a post, for example, the one that Lancer Service did, both of those, I'd boost those posts. They were doing well. They were getting engagement. They're working, boost that. If it's not working, why would you put money on something to make it not work more, right? So if you are putting something on social and it's doing well, then you can boost that post. But don't waste your time boosting posts that aren't asking people to do something. It's call now, click here to schedule, something like that, right? If you're going to spend money right now in this crisis, you need that money to work for you. All right, so one other question that I've had is I don't know what to say. Here's how we're going to address that. One, be crystal clear. Don't confuse people with industry jargon or language that you understand but your customer doesn't understand. Be consistent. Like I was saying, if you're putting something in a text message, you're putting something in a Facebook post or an email, let's be consistent across the board. Don't confuse people. And then I didn't put on here, but I keep saying it and I just want to say it again, is compassion. You need to have compassion. You need to let people know that you care about what they care about. When we talk about messaging, in our business, we always reference this book. And so I want to encourage you, I hope that you don't have extra time right now. I hope that you're super busy. But if you have time, do something productive with your time. Read this book, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. It is all about helping you create your message. That is all it's about. It's creating a crystal clear message so that you don't confuse people and so that customers listen to you. Moving along with what to say, again, kind of recapping some of this a little bit because I've hit these points as we've been going through the session here, but literally, I know it sounds ridiculous, take a deep breath, collect your thoughts. This also goes along with responding to negative reviews, right? You have to stop, you have to slow down, think, right, before you act. Remember who you're talking to. You're talking to your loyal customers. If you're doing retention marketing, they already know you. They already love you. They already trust you. Okay. People are desperate to see, find, and experience information that is relevant and that is accurate. So whatever you're sharing, please make sure that it is from a trusted resource. Somewhere in here I have this, but the Centers for Disease Control, your local government, like we're in Louisiana, which is another country because everything here is different, but we have parishes instead of counties. So our local parish government is an incredible resource for information. Here in our state, it's called Louisiana Economic Development. They are the ones that have all of the business resources, the Small Business Administration, our Chamber of Commerce. We're not sharing stuff that my cousin Joe said his friend Tom shared, and so it's true. There's even people that I am friends with who are in the National Guard who are saying, oh, well, my friend got this message, and it's just not true. So just be really careful about, if you're going to be the resource and you're going to share information, make sure that you're sharing up-to-date, accurate information. All right, we've talked about a lot of this. Make their lives easier, less stressful. Don't create these long, crazy, dramatic posts. Keep it as simple as you possibly can. Keep your email as short and simple as you possibly can. Every single day, I'm getting an email from a business that's telling me how they're handling the coronavirus in their business. And it doesn't even make sense. Like, you are an essential business. The government has made it known. These are essential businesses that are keeping our lives running, that are keeping cars on the road, that are helping with people in regard to health care. The government's given you permission to say, this is why we're in business. So people are expecting to hear from you. How can you help them? How can you make their lives less stressful and easy? Reassure your customers. This is one of our customers. Again, this was last week. So March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, kind of right at the beginning of when this really started hitting the fan. We were sharing with their customers to let people know, here's what we're doing. What are you doing? And then also notice there's pictures there. This was a very timely, like it needed to get out quickly. So this wasn't the time to create the most beautiful graphic and have the most amazing looking thing. This was just a real picture. This was a screenshot of a letter from his cleaning company and a picture of a key drop at their shop. So just be honest and let your customers know what you're doing. Another example, again, I'm going to send this to you because I want to honor our time. We only have, I want to try to leave some time for questions if possible. And I see some questions popping up in the chat. In fact, our Vice President, JR Portman, is on this call, on this class. So JR, you're probably already, Jody, you're not muted. JR is probably already responded to people, but if they have questions, JR, that you can answer, please do. So Fix Auto, they did a wonderful video that I'll include in the follow-up email, but a great compassionate video that just shared, hey, here's our process and here's what we're doing, that they're using across, in a variety of places. So I don't know them, they don't know me, but I put them in here as an example just because I want you to see what other shops are actively doing. Okay, let's talk about where to get your content. This was something that Judelle wanted me to be sure to mention in here. And I told you earlier that the way that we decided to create 2 blogs that we did last week. In fact, this presentation is based on one of those blogs, was because of what our customers were asking us. So this is another great, great book. I didn't write either one of these books. I'm not getting paid to share these books. I wish I were, but they're fantastic. This one is They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. Go order that book, read that book. It is all about where you get your content from. You get your content from what your customers are asking. They're asking questions about how much something costs. They have a problem. You can answer the question how to solve their problem. Comparisons, that can be comparing, do I need to get this part or do I need to get this part? Should I do this at this time of the year or this time of the year? Best of lists. So some of this is going to be more acquisition. So I want you to be thinking, what are your customers asking that you can answer that is going to equate to getting your current customers back in your shop? So what are they asking and how can you answer it? Again, I mentioned being sure that you are referencing information that you really trust. And the last bullet point here, I would encourage, ask your service advisors, what are customer, literally put a tablet, like a tablet, like a tablet, not like an iPad. We say tablet now and it doesn't mean the same thing it used to mean. Put something on your service advisor's desk where they can quickly jot down questions that customers are asking when they call, or maybe if they're writing questions on their drop-off forms or in the forms that they're filling out on your website to make an appointment. What are people wondering? In fact, if you have questions that people are asking, like I know they're asking, if I make an appointment, do I need to come inside? I don't remember who this was. Somebody just told me that their customer wanted to drive their car into the shop themselves without the technician having to drive it. The technician is still going to have to get in the car. So, answering questions that people have, write those down, and then that's where you get your content. I mean, that's the easiest thing, and it's endless content that, again, if you're sending out a text or an email, or it's a Facebook post saying, here's a question that we're getting from a lot of customers, address it, right? Again, you're being the authority on the topic, you're showing empathy, that you care, that you're compassionate, and that you know what you're doing, and that you care about not spreading this and protecting your own team members. So, this leaves me with a couple of minutes to answer questions. I do have another poll that I'm going to put up as well, but I do want to let you know, I'm not here to sell you anything. I just want to give you this helpful information. But we do have other classes that we teach through shopmarketinguniversity.com. Currently, there's a Facebook, how to set up your Facebook intro kind of class. I have a LinkedIn class, how to use Google My Business Maps, email marketing. Those classes are already online at Shop Marketing University, and they're free, just like this class was. And what we do at Shop Marketing Pros is literally we get to know you and your shop, and we do your marketing, not plug and play marketing that we're doing for everybody else. We're sharing your shop's story as opposed to the exact same thing for everyone else. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I want to launch one more poll for you. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I have 2 polls. So launching this one, I'm curious, for future classes, what information are you looking for? You might be looking for a class on how to do Facebook and Instagram, how to take good pictures for your shop, SEO, email marketing. So y'all go ahead, tell me what you're looking for so that we can create classes that you want, that you're looking for, that makes sense for your business. So we've got 13%, 15%. Y'all keep voting and let us know. I believe, yes, you can select as many of those as you want. We'll give this another couple of seconds. We got 30%, 32. Thank y'all. I'm going to jump in that chat in a minute and answer questions so everyone will have it. All right, 3 more seconds. Well, y'all are still voting. I love that it's showing me. All right, we're at 46%. Let's see if we can get to 50%. If you haven't voted, go ahead and vote. I'm going to end this poll, and then I'm going to show it to you so that everybody can see it. All right. Okay. Oh, we're at 49%. Come on. There we go. 50%. Thank y'all. Okay. Oh, 54. Y'all are still voting. All right. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to share the results. And you know what? I'm totally not even surprised by this. I keep thinking I should stop teaching Facebook and Instagram because I've been teaching it for about 7 years, but it's always the one people still need to know, and they want to know. So that's one that hit the top. Let's see. Where to get good content. Very interesting. Email marketing, so on and so forth. All right, awesome. I'm going to stop sharing that. I have one more poll. Hang in there. I am very curious how you heard about this class. So did you hear about it from Judelle and her team at AASP Minnesota? I did not put Pennsylvania on here, so if you heard about this from the Pennsylvania AASP, put it in the chat. That way I know that you came from there. IGO shared it. We sent out an email, we shared on social, and then of course they're from a friend. So thank you, Katie. I see that. Amanda, thank you. So, all right, we'll take just another second. 61% of people voted for this. All right, thank you. Okay, I will share the results so you can see that there. And then I'm going to open up the chat window and see what's going on over here. Bob, I sure hope that you got that situated. Charlie, thanks, Charlie, for chiming in there. Okay, very good. Eva shared. I hope that y'all are all looking at the chat window over there. I think that I can export all these chat questions, and if I can, I'll include that in the resources that I send to y'all, so everybody will have that to reference later on. What is SEO? So SEO is search engine optimization. And that is the practice of the content that you are putting on your website, your Google My Business, social media plays into that. But the purpose is to allow Google to recognize your domain, your website as an authority on your topic. And so that there's an enormous amount that goes into SEO, from the title of the picture that you have on your website to how dense that image is, if it's slowing down your website from loading. It's blogs that you might have, it's different pages you have built on your website, and it's all the stuff on the back end of the website, meta tags and title tags, and whether you have too many headings on your on the page of your website. All of that is a big part of SEO. And so when we taught the class at Vision a couple weeks ago, back to basics, one of the things that we talked about was SEO, and we asked how many people would be interested in a class on SEO, and there was an enormous amount of people interested in that. So that is something we are hearing from our customers. They ask, you answer. What are you looking for? SEO is a big one. So Amanda, I know that you messaged me that privately, but other people have that same question, so I want to be sure to answer that. And JR shared a link to They Ask You Answer, as well as building a story brand. And Katie is saying that SiriusXM for shops is great. I believe that's the program where you can actually offer SiriusXM for free for a couple months to your customers. So definitely check into that. There's a link that Eva put up there at the top. So with that, we do still have a couple more questions. If anyone has any questions that you want to ask, you can unmute yourself and ask that question. Or you can type it into the chat. I tried to move through this really quickly because I don't want to take up all of your time. I know it's your lunch time. I would love if you would put in the chat maybe your top takeaway from this class. Is there something that that you took from it that you want to put in place? And then while that's going on, I do want to remind you that I'm going to send you an email that's going to have resources based on this class, the recording, as well as the presentations. I will send you that as well. I do want to remind you that reviews are really important to you as a business. They're also really important to us. So I would love, love, love for you to go write a review about this class on our Facebook page. I will include a link to that in our email to you. Like us on Facebook, write us a review. And then, of course, as I mentioned, we do have more classes. They're already live on shopmarketinguniversity.com. And then also, thanks to your poll answers, we'll be able to create new classes for you moving forward. So anybody else? Anybody? Questions? Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate that. Tim, Bob, Bernard, thanks. I really appreciate y'all sharing that. I hope that this was helpful to everyone. If you have any questions about anything, you can, Jara just gave you a link to our Facebook page. Jara, put our email addresses in there as well, even though you're going to have it, but Kim at shopmarketingpros.com and JR at shopmarketingpros.com. And definitely shoot me an email. If you just want to send me a Facebook post that you're thinking about creating, or the content for an email or a text, and you just want me to say, hey, does the tone come off caring and compassionate in here? Anything like that, just send it over to me and I will reply to you with a thumbs up, or hey, I might adjust it this way. We're happy to help in that way. So with that, oh, there's Jen. I talked about her earlier. She was the one that had the question, are we being socially responsible? So Jen, I told you I was going to talk about you in this class. All right. Thank you, Lorraine. Thanks, Mike. Yep. Thank you, Bob, for sharing. And once again, Judelle at AASP Minnesota, Pennsylvania, IGO North Carolina. Thank you all very much. So with that, I am going to close this session out, and we didn't take up a full hour, but again, I'm here also via email if you have questions, and JR as well. Thank you all for participating. I really appreciate y'all taking your time today. So hope you have a great day.